All right, guys, getting started on what is this, week 10? Week 10, day one. We just finished the warm up, so we're gonna get into throws. I'm doing like 10 to 12 total throws, so I'm thinking about doing 4 sets. If I do, well, no, 3 sets. If I do 2 throws on each side, so that'd be 4 per set. That puts me right at 12. I feel like that's a good number. And I'm not doing this shit for too long, which I guess isn't a huge deal, but I like to get the power primers, ready and over with. So let me actually start facing this way so I can line myself up. So 2, and I am going to go for the rebound as I warm up here. I'm going to try and do it initially, but I don't know if my brain is ready for that yet. Plus the catch and reset feels really good. So we're gonna do 3 more of those. And like I've done in the past, you guys will see this one, the first one, and then the last one. So I'll be back. Last one here for you guys. I don't know if I said that already. Yeah, see, once I get into the rhythm, like my nervous system wakes up a little bit, it feels way easier to catch and launch immediately. Unless I send it flying at a 20-degree angle offline, but that's all 12. So we're gonna go ahead and set up for incline. I think my J cups are too low looking at it right now, so I'll probably have to readjust those real quick, but kind of same deal as last week where we did like the waves. We did the 5-4-3 waves. We're doing that again, the waves, but we're doing 4-3-2. So hopefully I'm able to go up to, I think the goal in my head was like 205, 215, 225 for the 4-3-2. And again, we have to do it twice. So we'll kind of see how that pans out. I'm going to get everything set up, rearrange the camera, and then we'll get to work. My shoulder was feeling a little funky yesterday, which is funny because I didn't do anything. It just felt like kind of started aching on me a little bit. There's still a little something there. But I did like a little bit of an extended warm up. So hopefully I don't feel anything on the incline press. And if I do, well, fuck it. But that's kind of the spiel. It's everything I can think of. So let's go ahead and get to work. All right, guys. So we're all set up. I just did a few test reps, but I made some adjustments, so I'm going to do some test reps again, just to make sure everything feels okay before I slap some weight on. Yeah, might have to bring that back down. I made too many adjustments at once. Going back down on the J cups because I prefer this seat arrangement. Like, I tried going up one more because it feels better to press into the bench, like into the seat. But the problem is given how wide the seat is, my leg drive goes basically non-existent. So I have to go with the lower seat just so I get good leg drive. So J cups have to stay low. Well, shoulder feels fine. I still feel it a little bit when I'm at the bottom of the press, but it doesn't feel like it's going to inhibit me today. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm glad I did the additional warm-up set at 95, just because I feel like sometimes when you have like tweaks or like aches and stuff, making jumps too fast is just a one-way ticket to disappointment. So from here, I will probably jump straight to 185 because I got 2 waves to do, so I don't really want to fatigue myself either. Probably just jump straight to 185, which I know sounds counterintuitive based off of what I just said, but if it feels okay now, it's not going to feel better after. And if it feels bad now, it'll only feel worse with more sets. So try to just kind of get through it as quickly as possible before it starts to get pissed off at me. But anyway, we'll load 185. And like I said, 205 is like the goal for that first set. And then 215 and 225. With that being said, let's go ahead and rock and roll. All right. 185 on. Didn't feel too bad. I'm purposefully trying to go kind of slow just to make sure that, like, I'm keeping my arms where they need to be to avoid any sort of pain sensation in that shoulder. Which, like I said before, like, I can feel it, but it's not, like, really bad. So I'm just going to jump straight to 205. We're going to fucking rock, see how it goes. Yeah, see, 205 felt fine. So, I mean, it feels heavy in my hands, but it doesn't feel impossible. So, 215 for 3, 225 for 2, and then we're going to do it all over again. A little slow, but it feels fine. It doesn't feel heavy at all, even though I know it's moving a little slow. So we're on track. I'm going to load 225 and we'll fucking get it for 2. I kind of had to readjust there for the second rep because I tried heel on the mat. I know you probably can't really see in the video, but I felt my leg kind of come out from under me. So for that second rep, I just readjusted, locked back in, took a rebrace, and then the second rep was like miles easier. So again, goes back to my previous point in an earlier video. A lot of people rush their sets because they know they're tired. They know the rep is going to suck. So they try and rush it to get it over with. Take your fucking time. Breathe. Focus on what you're trying to do. Lock the fuck in. Do your job. Really. Back at ground zero. So we just finished the first wave. Now we got to do it again. So we're back to the bottom, which again, if you're new to waves, you could technically go up to beat your previous wave, like in load used. So if we did 205, 215, 225, we would probably go to 210, 220, 230 for the second wave. That is another way of doing wave loading. This, however, I'm just accumulating volume. So we're going back down. We're repeating the same weight, especially since I also don't feel super confident upping the weight here, just because, I mean, 225 does feel heavy and it moves really well in that second rep, but I'm just not. You know, if I was still in like my powerlifter mindset, I'd be pushing all these sets just way harder than they need to be. Over the years, I've just gotten really okay with just hard sets. Don't have to bleed from the eyes. I don't need hype music. I just fucking am out here vibing and just having a good time. And of course, there are sets that I have to really hone in and focus. But I don't know. I didn't really ever find massive payoff from pushing myself extremely hard. I found the balance of what is hard enough and just stay there. All right, this is 4 again. See, that's what I don't like. Instantly slip. I gotta figure something out with this flooring. And if I was gonna end up stealing the whole garage, because right now I park my wife's car in here. If I was stealing the entire garage, this whole thing would be floor mats, because at least I get more grip out of the stall mats. There's like these weird like acrylic tiles on the garage floor, and my shoes. It doesn't matter what I wear. Just it's like an ice skating rink. It's horrible. Feeling good. I'm shaking a lot, but it feels fine. So we're gonna go 225. Let's see if we can lock it in a little bit better compared to the first one. Because the first one, the first go around, the first rep was kind of whatever, because we had some leg drive issues, and then rep 2 felt really good. So this set, I'm trying to make both of them feel fucking awesome. Probably about as perfect as I could have done it. It was great. So with that being said, let's go inverted rows. The rings are already down. We're gonna load it up like we did last week. So the lat pull down, we're gonna rig that up to ourselves. We're increasing reps on the row. So last week we were doing, I think, like 10 to 12 reps with 90 pounds added. So we're gonna keep 90 pounds on there, and we're gonna try and get like 12 to 15. Bump it up just a little bit, and we'll do that for like 2 sets. So I probably won't do anything super crazy in terms of warm-ups to get there. Probably just an initial body weight set and then just go straight to 90. So let's go ahead and get after it. I tried to change my ring setup here to see if we get a little bit better ROM. I normally use my TRX handles. So this is like the first couple times I've used rings for this. So I have to figure out the right number to have it set on. But we might have figured it out. Oh. 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 Whew. I got my 15. Oh man. Oh. All right, round 2. I almost added some weights to go up, but I don't want to put any grip assistance on. Kind of just want to raw dog this shit. So I left it at 90, especially since I'm adding a set next week, hopefully. And so at that point, I think like on set 2 and 3, I'll try and add load if possible. But because it's only 2 sets, just work on some grip strength, especially since by the time I am getting to 15, like it's pretty hard. So it's not like I'm sandbagging. Oh God. Not that I would ever do that. No, of course not. I would never. Who do you think I am? Who do you think you are? I am. Oh, God. 15 more, baby. Let's get it. Whew. Oh. 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 Whew. Nice. Now all I have to do is just make a notation of where we're at on this thing. So it looks like we're at the midway point between 4 and 5. 4.5. Anyway, moving into Z press with the dumbbells. Same deal. We increased reps. So I'm gonna try and use the same weight. I mean, Z press was tough last week from what I remember. So bumping up the volume again from that 10 to 12 range to 12 to 15. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Cool. So if you're unfamiliar with the Z press, again, it's just straight legs. You want to try and be tall torso. So how I'm sitting right now like a fucking shrimp is not how you want to press. So you're gonna have to be upright, dumbbell shoulder press position, all the way up for 12 to 15. As I recall from last week, 12 was pretty hard. So adding 3 reps will be lots of fun. But we're gonna try and get it done, as we normally do. I'm not ready, and the camera's rolling. Fuck me. So, baby, I ain't getting any fucking younger. Oh, God. I almost went up again, but same story as the inverted rows. We go up in sets next week, so that's when I'd like to push intensity. So, just because I like doing ladders for stuff. All right, are you ready? I don't know why I'm asking you. It doesn't fucking matter. You're not the one that has to do this shit. Come on, Trevor. It's only 40 pounds, you fucking wuss. I know. I'm working on it. So we're moving into arm stuff now. The easy stuff, as it were. So last week, we did just the empty bar for the curls. So I'm gonna slap some 5s on there this time. And then for the overhead triceps, we used one of my blue bands. And so we're bumping it up to the next resistance level. We're gonna use black. And yeah, that should be fine for progressions there, because our range is 12 to 15. And I was able to hit 15 on both last week, no problem. So we'll bump it up just a bit. And if we get closer to 12, well, you know, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get to it. Barbell curls are up first. Oh, man. Still got my 15. Easy peasy. Ooh. All right, vertical tricep extension. Ooh, that's a tough band right there, buddy. Oh, that's a tough band. I'm gonna try a different hand position here. I don't really like how that feels. Ooh. Ooh. That's a tough band. Jeez. Quick rest period. We do it again. I'm not making any weight changes or anything like that. We're just gonna keep rest time short. Knock it out again. Ah. I should probably let that come all the way down and then do a bonus. Oh, all right. Now, I didn't really like how the hand position felt on this last time, so I feel like maybe I should do double black so I can get some elbow flare. So if you guys will just humor me for a second, while I dig out my second pair. I probably should have done this before I started the set, but it's not technically a super set anyway, so it's fine. But that's the thing with like heavy band tension. Certain exercises it just does not feel good to do at all. So, if possible, a pair of bands is always great. Ugh. Just make sure one's not, seen 20 years of service and the other one has only seen like a month. Ugh. That's ripping my arm around. Ooh. Ugh. 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 One more. Ugh. Ironically, that is one thing I actually like about bands. Here, I'm going to talk and move the camera at the same time. Hello, greetings. How are you, sir? I'm going to take a seat right here. Hopefully, you guys can see me. Okay. That's one of the things I like about bands, actually, is when you're at near max tension of the band, you see stuff like the arm start to do stuff like this, or whatever exercise you're doing, the respective limb is kind of going nuts, right, at peak tension. I actually kind of like that only because it really reinforces um, conscious manipulation of joint position. So being aware of what you're doing, because regrettably, exercise, especially the longer you do it, does become kind of uh, an autopilot activity. And you hear about all the time as a coach, because when the clients talk about, oh, they're, everything was going fine, then they tweak themselves doing an exercise that they do all the time. It's normally because they were on autopilot and they just fucking, weren't paying attention to how they were moving and, tweak something. And it's never, really like a career ending. But, I feel like using variations that keep you just aware of what you're doing is always nice. Because you could see during that set too, when I focused, it stopped. So I was just on autopilot, just trying to cruise through those movements. So, it's stuff like that that I wouldn't necessarily do all the time, but I think it's great to throw in every once in a while. And I didn't even do that on purpose. Like I didn't even do that on purpose. Because I was originally just using one band, and so I was able to balance it a little bit better. What I might have to do in the future, just to make sure that doesn't get too crazy, is go to a half kneel or like a tall kneeling position just to reduce the top end tension. But I mean, we made it through all 15 reps too, but I didn't really want it to be that hard. I kind of wanted it to be a little more pumpy. So regardless, I mean, that's it. And we're in week 10, bro. We got fucking 3 weeks left of this block. I'm feeling good, man. I'm sore, but like I feel like I'm just ready on a daily basis, man. I feel strong. All movements are being executed well. Like I don't know. I don't feel nearly as worn down as I did last year. So, um, and as we get to week 12, I'll talk more about kind of what we're getting into for the next block that's coming up. I know everyone's probably excited to see, what we're doing. It's not anything crazy. It's just a conjugate block. 2 max efforts, 2 dynamic efforts, and then 3 conditioning days. So it's a full 7-day split. But the 7th day is just Z2, however I can get it in. And then the other 2 conditioning days aren't anything super crazy. I do for the summer or like spring, I'll do basically like an Olympic lifting focus for the conditioning days. So like it functions as a primer. And so I normally do like EMOMs or something like that with like power cleans from different positions like hangs or falls or whatever. Pauses even, and then same thing for snatches. It's all power. And it's treated kind of like dynamic effort in a sense. And I just like, again, like I mentioned at the very beginning of this whole thing, is I just like training in a wide variety of ways. So like it's the one time a year where I do like Olympic lifting. Cleans are usually on Tuesday, snatches on Thursday. And then our conditioning intervals, my longer intervals are normally on the treadmill for like the long distance running aspect. And then all my sprint intervals are done on the bike. Just because doing long distance intervals, or not long distance, but like longer duration intervals on the bike just suck ass because I hate the fucking seats on the bikes. It's just so uncomfortable. So that's one reason. And 2, I just like long distance running. Running is just really fun. And like my short distance running was basically what we're doing now. It's like the sprinting. And so I don't want to do that again. I want to change it up a little bit. So, anyway, that's all I got. This week's probably going to be pretty normal compared to last week. It's not until week 11 and then 12 where we start to get a little crazy with stuff. So I'll see you guys then. Adios.